All right, okay. Now, let's come to the burning point now, the real issue. The 2013 local elections in Edo State. Generally, what is your take on that election?
Well, I can speak for my local government for now. Because we have 18 local government in the Edo State. And my local government, Esan Northeast local government, happens to be the heartbeat local government. And that is it. An attempt was made on the 20th of April to conduct a local government election by 5 p.m. in the evening. And the people said, no, this can't be. By 5 p.m., you are just about taking paper out for an election. ACN wanted that so that they can do that under the cover of the night to enable them rig the election. But the people said, no, you cannot do this. You cannot start an election by 5 p.m. And by the grace of God, the EO for the local government, in his wisdom and by the assistance of the security agencies in the local government, that election was postponed to on the 24th of April 2013. And that election started at about 8 a.m. on the 24th of April 2013. And the election went on smoothly outside the talks imported by ACN to Esan Northeast local government. And by the grace of God, because the commissioner of police was in the local government for that day, a lot of the thugs were arrested. And I'm still saying it. I want to continue to plead with the commissioner of police. The people are known. Please prosecute these people so that we'll know who sent them, know the people that sent them. ACN brought in thugs with guns and cutlasses. Before they could wreak their havoc, they were all arrested and taken back to Benin. And that election went on smoothly. And by 2, 3 o'clock, the results were ready in all the 106 polling stations in the local government. Unfortunately, because that election was conducted by ACN card-carrying members, when they discovered that PDP was winning, and there was no way ACN could win that election, but the result coming from the polling station, like I said, 106 polling station in Esan Northeast local government, the returning officers of most of the wards of the local government, because we have 11 wards in Esan Northeast local government, ran away. They absconded, including the returning officer of the local government that was supposed to declare the chairmanship result, absconded from the local government without declaring the result. In short, by 5:30 p.m. that day, the commissioner of police have returned from Benin to at least witness the release of the result. But the returning officer was nowhere to be found. And I want to tell the Edo State government to please, including the commissioner of police, to please look for this man, prosecute him, because I'm aware that he has been paid for a job not done. He was supposed to collate the result that day and release it. And I'm aware, as I speak to you now, that he has been paid for that job he didn't do. So I'm appealing to Governor Oshomole, the commissioner of police, and ESEC chairman to please prosecute this man so that he can refund back to the people of Edo State money collected for a job not done.
Now, let's start from April 20th, Saturday, April 20th. That was supposed to be the date for the election.
Yes.
And it was postponed because of what you said.
Yes.
On that day, election did not happen in Esan Northeast as a whole.
Not at all. There was no election.
The electoral material did not get to the polling stations.
No, they were not released at all. So there's no way we'll be talking about whether the material got to the police station, because they were not released even from the police station. So the issue of material getting to the police station cannot be discussed.
But why do you think, you said they wanted to do election, they wanted to commence the whole process at 5 p.m.
Yes.
Why do you think election couldn't be done at 5 p.m.?
Well, elections that were supposed to commence by 8 a.m. How many hours now? About 9 hours after, or 10, 11 hours after. You want to commence this election that was also supposed to close by 5 p.m. The polls were supposed to close between 4 and 5 p.m. And you want to commence the election by 5 p.m. And you know Uzea, one of the remote village in Esan Northeast local government, it will take an average of an hour, 30 minutes drive from the city center to get to Uzea. which means by 5 p.m., if you have released material from the city center, which is Uromi now, to Zea, it will take you an hour 30 minutes, which means you will just be getting to Zea by 6:30. I have not heard of a place where elections are conducted in the night. When you don't have electricity, you don't have the communication material that will enable the thing to go on. The security men are not there. You don't really cannot now identify the people. Accreditation cannot go on. So it was sad that even at that time, at about 5 p.m., my brothers and sisters in this year were still saying that election should go on.
So what you're saying is the facilities were not put in place to do election at night. No electricity, no security, no communication.
First of all, the election was not planned for. There was no night election.
No, I'm only saying if there was a special case.
No. There's nothing like having a special case here, because you know the way we live here. You know the level of electricity in Nigeria. Nobody can plan election for, even in developed world, in civilized situations, you don't plan election for night. You plan election for the daytime. The election for Esan Northeast local government was planned for between 8 a.m. to 4 and 5 p.m. But by 5 p.m., some persons came out and tried to pressure the EO to continue or to commence election that would take about 9 hours.
But if that election didn't hold at all,
yes,
there was a report by the state government. He made. There was a TV broadcast that I watched that the Minister for Works, Architect Mike Onoleme, disrupted the election with mobile policemen from Abuja.
I really don't understand this aspect, because you can only disrupt a process that have commenced. You know, there is no way. Is it at the police station that Mike disrupted the election, or at the police station? I don't know. The process did not commence at all. Papers and materials were never released from the police station. So at what point was the election disrupted by Mike Onoleme, the Minister of Works? I'm sure you can go to the street and act. Even the ACN members and even the governor himself is aware that there was nothing like commencement of election in Esan Northeast local government on the 20th. So I really don't think that was the story from ACN or from any person, because they are aware you can only disrupt a process that have commenced.
The official postponement was done by the EO.
The official postponement on that day, on the 20th of April, was done by the EO, the electoral officer, who was in charge of that election. And by 5 p.m., when he had discovered that there was no way the election could go on, he called both parties, the PDP and the ACN, and officially postponed that election in the presence of the election DPO. So it was not Mike that postponed the election. You know that Mike had no power to postpone the election in Edo State. That is not possible.
All right. Now, let's move to April 24th, the day the election happened. Like you said, there are 106 polling stations.
Yes, 106 polling booths in Esan Northeast local.
106 polling booths in Esan Northeast local government.
Yes.
The election was held in the whole station.
Yes.
Polling booths.
Yes.
Okay. What would be your assessment of the different polling booths? Were there violence in most of them, or in any of them, or was the election that happened in most of the election free and fair?
Well, for the first time in the history of local government election, having witnessed the election of the governor of the state in 2012, the election that took place in the Esan Northeast local government election was free, fair, and very credible, as witnessed by the observers that came. Even the commissioner of police, the director of SSS, they were both there, and they saw the people voting freely. Places where you had thugs imported by ACN to Rumi, the thugs were arrested. For Christ's sake, they were arrested, locked up, and later transferred to Benin.
Let's get this clear. These thugs,
yes,
from what I heard,
yes,
they were arrested even before they could perpetrate
But
any kind of violence.
any kind of violence.
At all.
They were taken up by the police. The police lived up to their billing.
Security report or from people that
When they
were planning to.
when they came, the talks were strangers. Don't forget, we are all from Urumi. We know ourselves in Urumi. They brought in talks from Benin, led by Osakpama Rio. They brought in talks from Benin to disrupt the election. And because we could identify them, before they could do their harm, these talks were arrested because the police lived up to their billing. They did their best. The talks were arrested, locked up in Uromi police station, and their
weapons were found on them.
cutlasses, everything were found with them. They were taken and they were arrested, like I said, and taken to Benin. And for that reason, election went on smoothly. Peacefully, the election was, a very credible election. The vote was across party. The same people that voted for Oshomole on the 14th of July 2012 voted for John Ehwatowa and Yakubu on the 24th of April 2013.
The guest school, we heard that there were pockets of violence at a point, but that the commissioner walked in and resolved the issues. What actually happened there?
What happened at the guest school is this. Because we have agents in all the 10 police stations. Because the guest school, Ward 5 is a unique ward because all the police stations, police unit in Ward 5 are located in one place. That is the 10 voting unit. Accreditation went on smoothly and voting also started smoothly. But somewhere along the line, because we are a unique people, the ACN, as you have them, started seeing or discovered that the voting was in favor of the People Democratic Party. And they started seeing it. Because when people voted and they started rejoicing among themselves, though the voting was yet to stop, the ACN had realized then that, we are going to lose again in Ward 5. So somehow along the line, they wanted to foment trouble so that they could disrupt the process of completing the election that started very well. It was at this point of trying to disrupt the election by making sure one of the things was to make sure they gag the presiding officer, who is, not presiding officer, returning officer, who is a card-carrying member of ACN, to again walk away like they did in other world. So the members of the world prevented him from walking away from the center. And again, where will he be going to? It's like any other world where you have the police station stationed in different places. But in Ward 5, like I said, it's a unique ward. You are here, you are conducting the election here, and now that the elections are improved, where do you want to go to? So they prevented him, and at this point, the commissioner walked in. And the commissioner discovered that a man who had been officially paid to do his job is about absconding. And when he realized this, he said, hey, gentlemen, sit and complete your job. And he provided maximum security for him. If that was his problem. Though that was not his problem. Provided maximum security, including himself.
So what you're saying is in Ward 5.
Yes.
At a point in time, the Commissioner of Police, Edo State, came to the polling station and actually supervised the process there, the electoral process in Ward 5.
Yes. He supervised the process because the process was almost at the point of completion.
And,
now
some boys trying to foment.
I am sure the commissioner discovered that. If he had walked away again, tried to go to other police stations to see for himself what was going on. Ward 5, like I said, having 10 police stations in one particular place was among the best place for him to complete his assignment that day. So he stayed there, watched the process to its completion, and result for Ward 5 was released in presence of ACN, PDP, and the ANPP candidates.
So the place where it was said that there was a bit of violence, result was actually officially announced in the presence of the Commissioner of Police.
Yes. In short, the bit of violence, like I said at the beginning, was not actually violent per se. It was as a result of a man who is officially paid to do a job, try to abscond.
No, I don't.
And try to assist him. ACN now try to assist him to has come from the place.
Yeah, I know what you're saying because I also spoke to people about what happened there.
Yeah, yeah.
I was there and I saw what was going on. That there were boys here and there trying to foment trouble, wanting to be violent. But at that point, the commissioner of police came in.
Walking.
And then the issue with the returning officer, electoral officer attached to the station was resolved. Because I left at that point that the commissioner of police was coming in. So, but what I heard later was that he stayed till the end of the process and the results were counted and announced before he left. Was that right?
All right.
Okay. So now let's stay on the issue of violence because we're taking this a bit this way because the reason given by the ESEC official for cancellation was violence and mass rigging. I'm trying to find out if there was actually widespread violence in the area. So apart from that guest school, would you say other centers experience violence?
Well, I am happy that at least you witnessed part of that election. We have 11 wards in Esan Northeast local government. Apart from the little thing that happened in Ward 5, there is no official report today, either in ESEC office or in the DPO's office or in the Commissioner of Police office as to the fact that violence took place in Esan Northeast local government. No. There was nothing like mass rigging. Let me give you a typical example. In unit 3 in my ward, Ward 3, your unit, that's the name of the unit. I won with 2 votes. 2 votes as against the ACN candidate. Why the councillorship candidate for that same ward contesting that election lost that unit with 7 votes. So it was a transparent election, a credible election. In my own ward, in Unit 3, I won with 2 votes, 2, as against that of ACN. In that same ward, the councillorship candidate lost his own, I'm talking of his own village now, lost that unit with about 7 votes. There was nothing like violence.
The councillorship candidate
for PDP lost the unit to the ACN candidate. In short, the ESEC has taken us 60 years backward.
Because the result for your unit was counted onto our camera.
Yes.
Cameras, and we had the ACN representative and the PDP representative was there.
Yes.
So I'll tell you what I know about the election. I was there when the result was counted in your unit.
Okay.
And we recorded it. We recorded that of Ivwe,
Ward 2.
Yeah, Ward 2. And recorded that of the CMS now, the primary school in Ward 4.
4.
And we recorded the Ogboni Road Center.
Exactly. That's also Ward 4.
Ward 4. So we had live coverage of ward counting their results, and the representatives for both parties were there. And I would say that I did not see or feel any kind of violence about to happen. It was a kind of community affair. Everybody sat and everybody listened to the result being counted and announced, and there was jubilation from those that actually won. So that was the one. That's about the 4 words that I know.